Hello. We're not muted
Hey
this time, are
everybody.
we? No, we're fine.
I
We're fine.
I hope not.
that was a bit stupid last time. My sincere apologies. Sorry, guys. Welcome to the 510 Shortfill, a kind of a short show on the Wednesday where we do a little filling, so to say, of our bottles and make some e-juice or e-liquids. We could run down and chat, but we'll leave that for the main show on Monday. But I want to say welcome, everyone. It's great to see those names in here. Awesome. Thanks for joining us. Awesome. So,
Yes.
let's dive into the world of the e-liquids. What have you been up to?
Okay. Not a whole lot. I mean, I've been really busy this week, but
Mm-hmm.
I've still been kind of, keeping my thought process going and thinking about things that I want to continue working on
Mm-hmm.
with some flavor profiles. So lately I've been enjoying the Mullenberry Rocket Popsicle. It's
Mm-hmm.
really good as a single flavor.
It's a bit
So
like an
if
ice cream, isn't it?
you're
The popsicle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a popsicle. It's like cherry, kind of lemon lime and blue raspberry.
Red, white,
Um,
blue.
but it can be used as a single flavor. So that's kind of cool, to have like a recipe that's like one or two ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I wanted to kind of expand off of that, and I was thinking a little bit about what I would do to just kind of tweak it a little bit. I wanted to like change the flavor profile just a tad.
Oh, right.
So, yeah, I was like, all right, I think I have a pretty good idea. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna add a little bit of enhancers to it as
Ooh.
well. So I'm gonna add like two more flavorings to it and then three enhancers. And the enhancers that I'm thinking are WS23 for a little bit of the cooling effect, like
Mm-hmm.
from the popsicle, and some super sweet to keep it nice and sweet like a popsicle should be. And then some sour. So
Shall we show it on screen so, it's easier to see
yeah,
what we're talking about? Okay, if you can
yeah,
start sharing,
absolutely.
I'll click the sharing screen over here as well.
Yeah.
There we go.
So,
There it is.
yeah. So this is like my new little version of it. So I was looking through my flavor stash and I was like, well, what would go really well with that rocket popsicle flavor? And for me personally, I was down with some candied watermelon. I thought that would be nice to add a little bit of that and kind of play off the cherry, lemony, blue raspberry-ish of the popsicle.
Mm-hmm.
And then to combine the two together, I'm just going to use the gushy fruit candy
Mm-hmm.
at a low percentage.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping that this comes out right, but it's going to be a first time trying something like this
That's cool.
for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see how it goes.
And the fun thing
Um,
is, sorry if I can just interrupt. The fun thing is, you're
yeah,
gonna make it right. After explaining the recipe, you're gonna make it like right now. To show
yeah,
like how simple it is to
yeah,
make
and
to
I
fill up.
hope that I hope to get like a knuckle test of it and see how it
Cool.
is. But I have a feeling this one I'm gonna want to sit for a couple days
Mm-hmm.
just to let those fruits combine together. But I'm still kind of like forcing myself out of my normal box, which
Mm-hmm.
is bakery flavors. I've been vaping a ton of those and getting creative with a ton of those. So this is my first time like kind of constructing something over in the like fruit slash candy realm.
Yeah.
And in my mind, it seems like it's going to be a good test, but you
Yeah.
never know until you try it.
If we like break it down for a rookie like me, so you started out with the rocket popsicle. That's what
Yeah.
you started out with. That's like, oh, I
Mhm.
like this flavor. I want to do something with it, right? And then you
Yeah.
added like two flavors, like the candied watermelon and the gushy fruit candy. Those are two
Mhm.
separate flavors you added to it. And so you think that the candy watermelon and the fruit candy will enhance the popsicle flavor or add a flavor to it?
I would like to add a flavor
All
to
right.
it. So that's why I'm still keeping the Rocket Popsicle at that 4%,
Mm-hmm.
which is a higher percentage for that. I don't want to overpower it.
Gotcha.
I still want the parts of that popsicle to shine. I just would like other flavors to be in there just
Mm-hmm.
to test it out. Um, and like I said, this could be totally good or totally bad. We'll see, because I
Hey, that's
am
the fun
putting that
part, isn't it?
candied. Yeah, I'm putting
Exploring.
that candied watermelon in there at 3%. So that's a little bit high.
Hmm.
So I'm hoping that the overall outcome will be like a cherry limeade watermelon blue raspberry popsicle.
Cool. And
Fingers
then you have
crossed.
the other three components. Those are more enhancers. So that's more like the
Yeah.
effect that the juice will have. So the sour will, well, actually make it sour and maybe pop the
Which it
sweetness a
does
little.
have its, yeah, it does have its own sourness to it, that rocket popsicle
Hmm.
with the
From the lemon.
mullenberry. Yeah, it,
Hmm.
it does have a little bit of sour in there, so I'm only going to be adding sour at 0.5%. Usually you would probably put that in at 1, I believe,
Hmm.
but because it already has a sour element to it, I don't want to overdo it. And then with the super sweet, I'm going to do that in between what I personally use and what people normally use. So I'm going to set for a happy little in
Yeah.
between at 0.3. And then the WS23 is just for the cooling effect. Again, I'm only using it at 0.5%.
Hmm.
I don't want it to be so cold when I'm vaping it. I just want a little bit of ice on there.
All
So
right.
yeah, so I'm pretty stoked. I'm going to see how this goes, and hopefully it'll kind of push me in the right direction of like trying to work on more fruit flavors, or like
Water ice. Wow. I
yeah.
never thought you could make
So,
a popsicle water ice, as we call it, freezing water with some flavors, that you can make a water ice effect in a juice. I
yeah,
didn't know that.
yeah,
Cool.
WS23 is a cooling effect on your
Hmm.
palate. So it's gonna feel cold, but you're not getting like a super mint, like a
Yeah.
menthol or
No
something like
menthol or
that.
that. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. I mean, it could come off a mentally, but it doesn't taste a mentally, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Gotcha. I'm just gonna.
So yeah, I'm just, like I said, I just yeah, so yeah, it does have lemon in the rocket popsicle, so that's why I'm hoping to kind of piggyback off that trend. That's why I'm keeping that at 4%. So fingers crossed. But we can see, you know, if once I test it, if it's not right, I probably would add maybe a little bit of that lemon Sicily in there, just a tiny bit, because
Oh,
again, I don't want it to take over.
but
But
this is a
yeah, so
version one. Cool.
yeah,
I like
version
it.
one,
Yeah.
right?
Cool.
And sometimes you get really lucky and you're happy with that.
Hmm.
But sometimes, as like you go on, you want to make revisions, right?
Yeah.
And kind of switch some stuff up,
That's
which
what
I
we're gonna
know
do
that
as well today.
you've been working on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's really cool. And then like, you can fine tune it, tweak it,
Yep.
dial it in,
Yep.
and have something that you're overall really happy with, right?
Yes.
So,
Right.
so
You pick
yeah,
up your tools and start mixing.
okay, I'm gonna do that.
Cool. So we're gonna have a
And
knuckle test in a bit. That's cool. That's cool. If you can
yeah,
keep the screen up for a bit.
hmm
Yeah, I'll talk a little bit about our last episode. Again, sorry about muting in the beginning. Still feel bad about that. But anyway, a little bit of false
oh,
start, but we'll make it up for you
it's
into the coming
fine.
weeks. Last week we did a 510 licorice honey, which after the show seemed to be quite a taunting. Is that the right word? Taunting combination.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's a very interesting
Mhm.
palette profile, and some people are either really into black licorice or some people aren't.
Yeah, I think I have to
And
explain a little bit about why I picked the licorice, because licorice over here in the Netherlands it's a really common sweet. You can buy it in like 10,000 different varieties in the supermarket, and so
right,
for me it's a real normal taste. So I saw some people almost cringe in the chat over there, and we're like, oh, not licorice, not licorice to start. But I like licorice. It's like a really normal taste over here, and the
exactly.
honey with it was more like, we have honey licorice over here. So I was going for that. Anyway, I've changed the recipe up a little. Let me get my own notes here. You can still share. That's fine. Because my own notes are over here. Yeah, what I did, I also posted it on the Facebook group. I changed three things about it. First, I brought back the super sweet from 0.5 to 0.3, so having a little less of that effect in there. I changed the licorice from Inawera to Capella because the Inawera one was a bit salty licorice, and when I smelled the Capella, it was the sweet licorice I was after. And we first started out with honeycomb as in honey, pure honey, but I wanted to be a little bit more of a spiciness in there of the honey instead of the pure honey. So we changed that to the Black Honey Tobacco by TPA. So that's what we changed. I mixed it up. It's it's a very small screen, but there it is. I've knuckle tested it. And it's still a week until I will really vape it. So I'm still going to shake it every day and, vape it next week. That's it about the 510 licorice honey for now. Oops. Someone fell off the screen there. Let me just put back to... Well, I guess I have to run this one on my own now. What do we do with that? There we go. No, there we don't go. Can you see me now? Yes, you can. But that's not really important, is it? Uh-oh. I'm just going to do it like this for a little while until she comes back. Anyway, someone's laughing in the living room here because something went wrong. What I want to talk about is I wanted to show you guys how you can edit something in... Oh, she's back. There she is. That's fine because I'm gonna... That's fine. That's fine. Let's give him a good laugh,
Yeah.
Look at me sweating like in full screen.
Sorry. I
No,
know.
that's fine.
Sorry
That's
about
fine.
that. Do you want me to share my screen again?
No, it's fine. I got it. Let me just put it up there because then we should be able to... Oh my God. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
I get to... live in an area that my internet likes to randomly go down, and I just have to wait for it to come back. Good times. Sorry, guys.
Well, it's a good point. I think we need a little screen where sorry, she'll be right back or something like that.
Right,
time.
Exactly. And, honestly, that was the first time it's ever happened live.
Yeah,
I think.
it did. Yeah. Okay, let's have a sip of my Coke.
Sorry, guys.
Well, I'm the one sweating here, not them. Okay. Anyway, I was going to explain how you edit a recipe in e-liquid recipes. Links is down there below the stream. Last time we showed you how to create a recipe. This time I'm going to show you how to edit a recipe. So what I did the last 6 weeks, I made like 26 recipes. I've made them all, shook them up, tasted them, whatevs. And I took out 5 recipes to go on with in the future because I'm not going to make these recipes all the time, 26. And some I like, some I don't like. Some, are better than others. And you want, if you start DIYing, something that you really like. So what I decided to do, I vaped 30 mils of this recipe, the RY4 Vanilla Honey Aniseed. As you can see it scrolling as well. Yep, awesome. And what I want to do now is edit it because I want to change something to it. Because when I tasted it, I noticed that it's a good palate for me like this. But I think I want the sweetness of the honey a bit back. So I bring it down from 3.5 to 3%. And I want the vanilla in there more. And I want to have it, the bourbon vanilla in there more. So I put it from 2 to 3%. That's what you do. You can also add flavors, like you add flavors to your standard recipe. You can make some notes. So I'm going to write here, changed to 0.5 less honey and plus 1% of vanilla. Oh, vanilla. Yep. And then I'm going to save this one. Oh no, I want to make more of it because I made 30 mils to start off with, but I want to make 60 mils now. And what you will see is that your the e-liquid recipes will make an update on your recipe and make the correct grams as well. So this is what it does. So press save, don't forget to press save. And here's my recipe that I'm going to make after the show. I'm not going to make it live because I'm too nervous to do that. I'm feeling too much a rookie, but there's going to be a point I'm going to be mixing on the show as well, but not for now, not for now.
You got this.
Yeah, next time. So what you see is like the flavor total. Yeah, I like to keep it a bit above 10%. Some people have it way up there, some have it lower. It's all, your own personal preference. But what I did notice, and I saw some other shows as well, that commercial juices might go up to 25 to 30%. Did you know that? That's high.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, that could be for multiple different reasons. I
Hmm.
don't really know why. I know my personal preference. Again,
Yeah.
that's something that I just found for myself after, playing around with a couple different things. But yeah, I don't know. That's an
I don't know why it
interesting
is.
tidbit though. I didn't really think that it was that high. So
Hmm.
that's interesting.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Ooh, this is smelling good.
Ooh, that's a
I'm
good start.
excited.
That's a good start.
Yeah.
Something else just wanted to add is like if you edit your recipe over here at the wrench, edit it. You can also suggest your steep time. And what I did now, I made this one at the 13th of January, which is, let me double check that. 3 weeks ago. What I would like to have it, a little bit extra. So I'm going to just put it up to 25 just to keep myself in line, and I won't use it before because now I know that it has been steepened, and I've tasted it like over the last 10 days. It's like you feel you can taste where the height of the steepness is, and where it like, oh, this is really good. Now all the flavors are in there, and so yeah, I
Yeah.
wanted to keep it on there a little bit longer. So I'm sure I'm going to enjoy that thing. So press save again, and there we go.
Nice.
So that's about editing.
Oh, that's exciting. So there's gonna what did you say version is this of
This is
the
version
original?
2. So
Nice.
I made notes here, changed to 0.5 less honey and +1 vanilla. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, so I
That
know
sounds
how it
delicious. I mean,
evolved.
the aniseed is kind of like a black licorice too,
It
right?
is, yeah, but it's more like to the spices kind of taste
Hmm.
than to a licorice sweet or something. It's more like the spice. What I was actually trying to do, just put something together. As you know, I was gonna try to make something like this,
Ah,
but it's not yet there. But maybe in time it will evolve to something like that, or in the same category as it.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. And if it's something that you personally enjoyed every day, like why not try
yeah,
to
it did.
create a
Yeah,
version for yourself,
yeah.
right? I was just looking at Dimmelin says that I should have a mix cam. I actually do. I
I was
just
thinking
have
about that.
been too nervous to use it. So stay tuned. And then I saw that Tread said 15 of that is sugar, LOL, for commercial e-liquids, like the
15.
percentage.
Oh,
Yeah. And
15.
and I mean,
Oh, okay.
I could probably agree with that, but I wasn't gonna mention it. But yeah, like I know that a lot of commercially liquids do use higher sweeteners.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so I was just kind of checking in with chat
The
a little
flavor
bit.
is, for me, flavor should be like a bass drum. If it's not smashing your face, it's useless.
There you
So yeah,
go.
yeah. Well, cool. I
See,
like the
and like
saying.
you
Yeah,
said, you like a little higher of the flavor percentages too, and that's awesome. I
yeah,
mean, it's all just personal preference, and everybody's taste buds are so extremely
yeah.
different.
Some people are even strawberry blind. I heard. Is that true?
Mm-hmm.
Does it work like that?
Yeah, I've
Oh
heard
man.
of people like that too. I mean, you just get to a point where you can't taste certain things anymore.
Oh. Maybe a question for chat, since we have so many people who know a lot more about mixing than I do, or maybe you can answer it. Would you mix different for a mounted lung than for a direct lung? If we did a little poll on our Facebook page, and we mostly have like direct lung vapors in our Facebook group. Next is like mouth to lung, and then there's also the dual uses. But would you like mix different for a direct lung than for a mouth to lung, or would you like keep it the same, or do different
So
flavors
I
different?
Yeah, and again, I think this is comes down to like a personal preference thing, and it's something I'm still playing with because
Mm-hmm.
I primarily use mouth to lung, right? So when I test something that I create or something that's steeped, I'm testing it in mouth to lung.
Mm-hmm.
So a couple times I've actually tried to put that same test into a direct lung, and it's like a completely different
Yeah.
profile. You might get something else, like say for instance, and here is my peanut butter banana waffle. So in direct lung at a higher temperature, the peanut butter really comes through, which is very interesting because in my mouth to lung, when I do that same mix, same ratio, same flavor, I'm getting more of the crisp on the waffle, the bananas really forward. So for me personally, I'm still trying to like figure that aspect of it out. I want I want what I'm creating for myself personally to taste the same in everything,
Yeah.
right? So I know that just from asking a couple other people about this too, that people that do mouth to lung usually like mix at a higher percentage.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been completely fine at like the 10% range, which, it seems to be kind of like the in between, like across the board. So it's something that I personally am still playing with, but I'd be interested to see what others say.
Yeah.
So let's see, only time I change is if I'm going to salt nick. Yeah. And I've heard of that too. If you're doing a salt nick or a pod, the percentages needs a lot more. Yeah.
All right. Oh
Or
yeah,
you
at
may
scuba
need
you may need to go 50-50.
50.
Yeah, you of course you change your 70-30 VGPG to 50-50 maybe as well, right? I
Hmm.
wonder if that affects the
You
taste as
see,
well.
and that's the weird thing too, is people tend to say that it tastes less flavorful in the mouth, the lung, versus the direct lung. And for me personally, it's the opposite. I think it's way more flavorful in my mouth to lung, and then I get it on my direct lung, and I'm just
Oh,
not happy with it for me personally. So that's interesting too.
oh.
Um, and honestly, I like 70-30 in my mouth to lung as well. I'm
Hmm.
not a 50-50 person. I mean, obviously if I was doing like salt nick or a pod, that would
Yeah, that would be
be a
different.
little
Yeah,
different.
yeah,
But in my mouth to lung, I actually enjoy a 70-30. I'm not big on like a throat hit.
yeah.
So how much has he? Cloud Checker, there's tons on Amazon for about 15, $16.
Yep.
You
I
just
can
want to
show you
make sure
mine.
that it goes in point increments for grams. Make sure it's
Yeah,
got
you
the
want
three
grams. Yep, you want grams, and you
numbers.
want 2 decimals behind your dot. This is just a simple
Hmm.
one. It's like
Yep, and
was it
that's actually
12,
the same
16,
one
20
that I
bucks,
got
something like
here.
that. Oh, it's the same one. Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
Hmm.
Not a sponsor.
No. Also, Liquid Barn sells a kit with a scale as well.
Oh, cool.
It's a
I
little
didn't
bit
know
more
that.
expensive, but you get a couple extras with it, which
Mhm.
is cool.
Yeah,
So
something
PG
we
is a
if you're
flavor
really
carrier
new
along
to
with the throat hit, right?
mixing, have a look at our first show from the short fills. Just skip the first 3 minutes because we're muted, and then
Just a little bit.
we'll show you what you need, like from a little glass to a syringe and everything like that. Welcome, dude. Welcome. Um, I saw something about higher PG equals more flavor. All right.
Yeah, so PG is like the flavor carrier, right? And I think that's why, obviously the flavor concentrates are in PG. Um, but
Would be
like
a
I
fun
said, for
experiment.
50-50 for me is too throaty.
Yeah, yeah, because
A
more
little
PG
too
gives you
thin.
more throat hit as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would be interesting to make the same recipe at like 80-20 and at 60-40 as well, and then see what the difference is. That would be interesting as a little
Yeah,
experiment.
when I was just getting into this again back in October, I was using a pre-mix base
Mm-hmm.
and it was equaling out like an 80-20, and I was happy with that. But then once I started playing around with my own ratios and using my own like VGPG, I decided that 70/30 was pretty good, and then now I do like a 75/25.
All right.
So again, it's just going to be personal preference. I
Yeah,
do
of course,
have
it's
to
all
pay
preference. Yeah.
attention to thickness because I am using mouth to lung, but luckily these days a lot of the newer mouth to lung tanks can handle pretty
Yeah.
high VG stuff. You're just going to want to like thin your cotton a little bit more.
Good point. You could also adjust the PGVG, like Mr. B is saying, for 60/40 maybe for fruits, and maybe a bit higher, like the 70/30 or 75/25 for more custardy things, I presume.
Scuba. Yeah, glowing white. That's I just whipped it up so it's a little, bubbly. It's gotta
Bubbly. Let's
sit
call
for
it
a
bubbly,
while.
okay?
Yeah, bubbly. Ah, it smells amazing. I can't wait. I'm actually gonna.
Can you get that extra sour in now? That extra
That's
little.
what I'm. Mhm. Oh,
Mm.
I think the WS23 is exactly where I wanted that to be. It's not overpowerful and it's just there, just enough to give you that like popsicle cooling. Ooh,
Cool.
that tastes amazing.
The only thing you're
Oh,
missing
I
is
can't
like
wait.
the taste of the little wet wood in the middle now. The wooden stick.
Oh, the wooden stick. That's my least favorite part of the popsicle.
put, put some leather
No.
in there or
Ooh,
something.
I'm excited for that. This just off the knuckle test, the sour is getting a little bit overpowered by the sweet, but I'm hoping like, I'm gonna let them blend together, see how that goes, and I hope that sour will pop out a little bit more. I don't want it too sour, so it might be just right. We'll have to see.
Vape it first. Ooh.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait though. I like to wait
Yeah,
at
back to
least
the
4 hours before I try something.
510
Usually
connection
24.
licorice.
That's my
Yeah,
wiggle
24
room.
hours. Okay. And then you vape
Yeah,
it or just taste it. You
I
vape it.
always test
Yeah.
it. You can, for me personally, I can usually tell if I knuckle test it, if it's probably something I can vape. But I do like to kind of test things throughout a couple weeks to find exactly to where I want that steep time to be.
Yeah.
But I usually like to try things within the
Talking about
first
steep
24
time,
hours.
this should be at the. What is that date? Should be steeping until. Until the 10th. So that's next week somewhere. Until the 10th. But I'm gonna knuckle test the 510 licorice. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah, sour can be a little bit of a coil killer. I do know that. But luckily I re-wake at least once or twice a day. Because, mouth to lung anyways. Do you like a W23 over Polar Blast? So I personally like the cooling effect in the WS23. Polar Blast does have like a mintiness to it to me. So
Polar Blast is also an enhancer for something? About the same
it's gonna
effect?
be like it's gonna be like a cooling effect
Okay.
/ a slight taste to it, at least in my personal opinion.
Mr. B.
Straight off the bat and then test again in 4 to 8 hours. Yeah, exactly. And you definitely can. I've just found that I personally enjoy it at least 24 hours out just to give it enough time to kind of mix well.
I think I will do
I
that
know
too.
like
I mean, yeah, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
oh, I was just saying like some flavorings that I've found like in some fruit flavorings too can tend to be a little bit like harsh right off the bat. So I like to wait for those just a little bit more time.
But actually, what you're saying, what I take from this, what Mr. Beast and you just said, and when you taste it, I think I made a marshmallow brown sugar custard, which
Ooh.
yeah, it sounds really delicious. It's like, it's a really thick custardy, and I hope I get the fluffiness and a little bit of burnt sugar out of there. But yeah, I haven't vaped it yet, so. But it sounds and smells very
amazing.
promising, and so I might, start vaping it today, and then.
When did you mix that?
The 18th, so that is a couple of.
Give it a little knuckle test. See how it tastes.
18th. That's it's
Yeah,
2.5 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I'm gonna vape it. Fuck it.
There you go. I'm gonna share a
Plug
link
posts.
to.
What's the best loop for my 510?
Yeah.
Listen, bud,
I'm
you
gonna
can
share
take
a
care of your
link to.
plant.
Sorry, I'm gonna share a link to our Facebook page. And we're gonna put these recipes on there for you guys too. And we'll have a link to our ELR so everybody can see them.
Oh,
Yep. Yeah, Scott, same. I love doing that because then you go to sleep and you wake up the next morning, give things a little shake, and you're like, okay, what am I gonna try?
this one's gonna be sexy, but I do feel that the oh after the custard, the marshmallow comes over it.
Nice.
But
Yeah,
it
marshmallow
needs
is a
longer.
fun one.
Yeah, but it needs longer with the custard. I can still smell that little not steeped yet. So yeah, I'm
Hmm.
gonna put it away again. Oh, but the marshmallow, wow! I'll save that
I'm
one. I'll
weird.
share that with you.
I like unsteeped custard, and that
Hey,
probably makes some people cringe, but I love a vanilla custard newer than older.
hey, but it's like been said last week as well. It's all personal preference, and if you like an unsteeped
Yeah,
custard, if you're
right.
impatient enough,
Yeah, some vanilla custards, like as they steep, they get a little bit more spicier, right? Like the vanilla spices come out and everything, and
Mhm.
that's great. Like it's not like it's gonna be bad or anything, but um I guess I just prefer a less spicier custard. I don't know. I'm kind of like plain that way. I like a vanilla, more of like a vanilla like pudding.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I want
but
that
yeah.
that full creamy thick layered pudding thing. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's what I want from a
Yeah,
custard. Yeah,
and custards that tend to be the ones that steep longer, right? Like
yeah.
three
That's
to
what I
three
noticed too.
weeks
Yeah,
to 4 weeks. Although I will say
taste
I
is
did make
subjective.
like
Yeah.
a flan recipe and that was best after 4 weeks. So it's
Oh,
all from, time to
it's
time,
just
I guess.
experience. Experience it, and yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun to take
Yep.
these people on our little journey, experimenting with some recipes. I hope we can put something basic in the show every time as well for people who are new to mixing to get them mixing as well because it is a fun adventure. It is like you've got this palette of like 1,000 flavors and you can make anything you want, but just start somewhere and the chat, our Facebook group. There's so many live shows out there as well. So many people who willing to share the information and yeah, just
Yeah, I know the UK e-liquid mixing shows tonight with Benny and
yep,
those
yep,
guys. They have Full Moon on as a guest, and
cool, yeah,
I'm excited to try to catch that. They're going to be talking about bases, which is a really
nice,
great episode to watch, especially if you're just getting into
nice. I'll watch
mixing.
that.
Coming up with like a cookie base, a custard base, something like that. Once you find your perfect base, you can literally take that and then add things to it. Like,
Mhm.
say, one day you want to try like a fruit custard, and one day you want to maybe try like a cookie custard or strawberry custard. And so once you have that base, it's really helpful. Then you know which one you like the most. But I'll jump all around too. Like I have certain bases that I personally like. Like I use a cookie base that I'm pretty like tuned in with that I really like it. But every once in a while I'll try to get creative and come up
Yeah,
with
try something
another
new
one.
and
But
or someone calls out
yeah,
a flavor yeah, well, that I haven't heard of, for example. For the marshmallow, I was like, oh, marshmallow custard. I like both. Why not put them together? Have a little thing in there and let's try it and let's see
that's
where it
the fun
ends. Yeah, it
part.
is.
Like that's what I enjoy the most is that I can sit there and kind of, take something like a pie, right? And expand it and deconstruct it.
Yeah,
And then I'm like, okay, so if I'm using a flavoring like for the cheesecake or something like that, that doesn't have a graham cracker crust already incorporated in it, it's just that cheesecake filling. I'm like, okay, in my mind, I'm like, well, how am I going to create that pie crust, right?
yeah.
Or stuff like that. And then adding a little bit of whipped cream if your pie is normally something that you like to have whipped cream on, then you can like put a little bit of that in there to kind of give that texture element. um but yeah, like that's the best part. And you starting with playing with the marshmallow, like marshmallow is
Yeah.
a great tool. Like even if you use it at lower percentages, it can help like smooth things out or make things a little less harsh, which is really lovely. But you can kick up that percentage too. And if you
So
want
much
it
to
to be
explore.
something that's shining in your main recipe,
Yeah.
then yeah, like that's like like I said, that's like my favorite thing is just like deconstructing things and thinking about how to make things work. And yeah, it's like a lot of trial and error.
Yeah.
But when you get it, it's like so rewarding. And not only is it rewarding, like you get to enjoy it too, right?
And that's what we're going to do on the Shortfill as well. Explore these things, share it, get some people on as well in due time and share the journey. I think we should round up a little. There is a lot of shows on tonight. The Devil Vapor is on after us in like 25 minutes from now. 3 Minute Vape Show is on. That's going to be fun with, I forgot who their guest is, but the link is on our Facebook chat. UK E-Liquid Mixing Show with Benny and friends talking about basses. And, if you're up after that, please watch the replay of Wired Talk with Big G, because that's going to be interesting as well. With I think it's the Leviathan Vapor on there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Thank you all in chat for hanging out with us. With us again. Ooh, did you see that?
Yeah.
I just want to say a special hi to Pud Pubs. Go read his channel and his community note. He's stepping away from the game for a little bit. That makes me really sad. I really enjoy seeing Pud Pubs in any show he's on. Always a big laugh. Always the technical stuff in order. And man, I really enjoyed seeing you in live shows. And thanks for that, mate. That's the only thing I just wanted to add personally. Do you have anything to add here?
Well, awesome. I mean, like you said, there's lots of great shows on tonight. There's mixing shows every night of the week, whether you're in the UK or the US. I personally like to watch from both. It's all knowledge to me. Everybody is super helpful, so definitely check out other mixers. There's quite a few out there.
Scuba's channel, Fresho Trees channel, KTV, no
KVTV.
There's
Mix and Vixens. Like there's so many people. There's Wendy. I know Melon's on with Wendy. There's Vaping Trucker. All those guys. I love them. They're super awesome people.
We should have a little list
really
in the
good knowledge
in the Facebook group.
I'll try to get one together for over
that
here.
Would be awesome.
Maybe you can get one together for over there. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
But yeah, and if you guys didn't get to check it, our show on Monday was a lot of fun. We got to have Mick on there, and that blew by. Like that was a quick hour.
Yeah. He's so much fun to talk to and listen to. Yeah. He's some great stories as well. Yeah. Right. We'll have our next guest on 1st of March, somewhere around that area. Yeah, 1st of March, show 9. But first, we're gonna have a steep week next week. So the Shortfill is going to skip 1 week. We're going to let our juices steep and come back the week after. But on Monday, we will have the main show, the 510 Connection. 10:10 UK time, 10 past 11 EU mainland time, and 5:10 Eastern Standard Time. There we go. So on that bombshell, as they say on the... what is your Top Gear? On that bombshell, we'll leave the show.
Awesome.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, chat.
Thanks
for all your help and suggestions. Definitely, if you're catching this on the replay, check out the live chat while you're going. There's tons of good information in there. Just real quick, I saw Flavor said, same when you just put a hint of cucumber into the juice, it gives the fruity parts a little more kick. So little tiny tips and tricks like that could go a long way. So we're always learning, right?
Yes.
So I'm excited to talk all about it moving forward. But
and thanks for sharing.
Thanks again.
That's awesome.
Thank you guys so much. And thank you, Hooks. Thank you for being here and sharing your creativeness with me too.
Have a great evening, day or night, and see you next round.
Bye, chat. Love you guys.
Bye.